Gentlemen, welcome back. It's your Week 10 recap. After a week on hiatus, I'm back. Your host with the most, Tom Ace Rothstein, owner of the Tangiers Casino, Tangiers Fantasy Baseball team. I want to go straight back to my Ohtani counter, which I've ripped off the wall in disgust. I have it on my bed right here. Maybe we can lock this up. He's going to have more home runs for than against. Maybe not. He's got the grade 2 UCL sprain. Don't know if he's going to be back pitching. They're saying they're hopeful for him to be back as a hitter. So we will see about that. In that case, he's definitely going to have more home runs for. But as of right now, he definitely has more home runs for. I'm not going to rip it up, but I'm going to take it down. Maybe I get to replace this in a couple weeks. But after another eventful week in which I play the team with the second most points, yet again, I come up on top, as I always do, because the house always wins, baby. And I have the most points for, with the most points against, but I'm still in first place. So you can't really be hating on that. I got, by far, the best team at this point in my eyes, even with losing Ohtani. Just a lot of guys clicking on all cylinders, including Freddie Freemans of the world, the Jose Ramirez's of the world, the Joey Vottos of the world, the Jose Altuves of the world. Just guys that carry fantasy teams year in and year out. Got a plethora of talent up the middle with Gene Segura, Cesar Hernandez, who was an unbelievable late-round draft pick, Jose Martinez, who was a pickup, who I loved him. I absolutely loved him this year. Told Gordo, this guy Jose Martinez, he's really about to break out. Next thing you know, he leads my team on the week. He drops about 60 points on the week. Absolutely crushes Gordo and all his hopes. Buster Posey, behind the dish, calling a great game. Unbelievable fantasy catcher, playing first base. Really good stuff I'm seeing from my team. Pitching hasn't been that great on the back end. Front end of the staff has been great with Carrasco and Nola leading the way, both averaging over 20 points, both in the top 15. I think Nola might be in the top 10 at this point. Nola's going to get some Cy Young votes. Unfortunately, Cy Scherzer is there. So, but Nola is definitely a close second right now. He's only a few four off his ERA, off Scherzer's ERA right now. So, you never know. Things change. Scherzer gets lit up. Nola continues to pitch great. You never know. Things change. But Nola has been a really good runner-up right now for the Cy Young 10 weeks into the season. I'm going to start off with my matchup with Gordo, as I always do. I wound up beating Gordo 669 to 630. Gordo puts up an absolutely tremendous week. Just ran into the wrong team at the wrong time. Has the second most points. I just scored more points than him, simply put. Led by Corey Kluber with 61 points. Kluber on a double start. He's going to get at least 50 points, it seems like. He's averaging 28 on the year. Fourth best pitcher. He's a super ace. We knew he was a top 4 pitcher going into the year. He stays that way. Bregman finally coming back to life with 46 points. He's been heating up. Got that average of about 266. Not too shabby right now. Bellinger, who Gordo traded midweek, and he just went on an onslaught with 3 home runs and 2 stolen bases. It seems like every time I turned on the Dodgers game, Cody Bellinger was doing something just to hurt my fantasy team. He went on an absolute tear last week. I think he probably had one of the best weeks of the season with 46.5 points. Benintendi for 39. Benintendi has been a real good leadoff for the Red Sox this year. Third best outfielder right now. Gordo got him in the 33rd overall, so that's about even value for what he's doing. Hitting lefties now too, which is his biggest knock. That was his biggest knock against him going into this year. I thought he might have been like a Jock Peterson type who just couldn't hit lefties, but looks like he could hit lefties now. He's playing every day too, in a great lineup. He's going to be a really good fantasy player for Gordo for the rest of the year. Definitely could see him averaging over 5.5 across the entire year. Right now, I think he was averaging 6.4. That's really good right now. Brad Hand for 35. Second best closer in baseball right now is Brad Hand. Who the fuck would have thought? 20 saves for the Padres. Definitely could see him getting traded at the deadline just because how well he's pitching. The Padres are pitching him a ton. He's going 2 innings, some closing opportunities. They probably are going to trade him because they don't need him at all. Maybe get a prospect or two for him for a team that needs some bullpen help. I think he's one of the few closers that are going to switch hands, and you're going to see these guys go from an everyday role as a closer to and maybe an everyday role as a setup man. Points are going to change. Maybe you wind up even dropping some of these guys just because holds really aren't that valuable unless you're getting a lot of Ks and you're pitching a lot of innings. Kyle Freeland for 35. Freeland has pitched pretty decent in Colorado. For some reason, I have no clue why. I thought he had a great curveball, and I hear curveballs are horrible in Colorado. But he played Arizona, and he pitched really well up until the last inning that he pitched. He only wound up with 10 points against Arizona, but he pitched way better than that. Ozuna for 34. He's starting to heat up right now. He's batting .283 on the year. Still doesn't fucking walk a ton, but he's still hitting the ball real hard. Dansby Swanson for 32.8. Rizzo for 32.2. Eighth best first baser right now. 5.1 points averaging. He missed some time too. Giancarlo for 29. Is Giancarlo just going to be like a headache to own all year? Because I think he is. Just you see these minuses. His last 3 games, -1, -3, -2. That is not something I want from one of my best players on my team. He was taken. I know Gordon didn't draft him, but he was taken 16th overall. That is not a 16th overall pick. Only averaging 4.1 on the year. Manaea for 27.8. I think he's definitely coming back down to earth. Manaea after the no-hitter against the Red Sox, which Gordo didn't have him in his lineup. But he pitches his best game he has in about a month. Of course, it's against me. Not surprised. But his last 1, 2, 3, 4 starts before his 23-point effort against Kansas City, he goes 4.2, 1.3, -5.8, 2.2. Yeah, so I don't think he's an ace at all right now. Looking like a SP3. Top 30 guy, maybe. Top 40. Matchup reliable. Frankie Montas, Gordo picked up, and he's been fucking crushing the majors right now. He's 3-0 with a 1.25 whip, 77.4 points in his 3 starts, averaging 25.8. It's a pain in the ass. I think he's only... Oh, no, he just got the SP eligible because he pitched 3 games. That's going to be big, so now you could actually have a closer in that RP spot. Sucks that you have to start a guy who's an RP. That blows. Puig for 23. Chris Bryant for 21. Yeah, like these guys that usually produce every week, Chris Bryant, Whit Merrifield, Nick Castellanos, they just didn't really produce this week at all. So I kind of got lucky with that. He had Fulton Nice, only throw 12 points. He's been pitching really well. I think he got a little dinged up against the Mets. Right tricep tightness, that is not a good sign. But Jonathan Schoop sucks. He's absolutely horrible to own right now. And he was taken so friggin' high, 68th overall. And he's basically just like hurting your team because you're starting him and he's putting up 3 points a game. He probably juiced last year and he's off the juice. He's off the sauce. Strasburg and Keuchel absolutely killed you. Keuchel throws up negative points. You trade him away the next day. Strasburg winds up getting hurt, goes on the DL. He gives you negative points. Those 2 guys going negative really killed you because if you just had decent starts, you want to put in Luis Gordo, which is crazy to think after I put up fucking 670 on your ass. But yeah, if you have 2 decent starts minus the minuses, you have a real good week. But yeah, my team is fucking... I'm clicking right now on all cylinders, up and down the roster. Just so many... I have so many hitters that hit home runs, that steal bases, high average guys, not a lot of strikeout guys. Just guys always giving me points every single game, which you need. You need. Going into the next matchup, we got La Familia versus B Strong BS. We got my main man, Jaleel Matz, losing for first place against Michael Mashie, who is in first place with, I think he has a 500 record at this point. Yes, he does. So that B Strong BS is leading the way, 5-5, first place in his division, number 2 overall seed in the playoffs right now. Mike Mashie doing his thing, and he knows he's got a great team because he knows it. I don't see it, but he sees it, and if he sees it, then I'm with you, Michael. I'm with you on that one. He's led this week by Brandon Crawford, who is on an absolute fucking tear. Past like 3-4 weeks, he went 11 for 17 this week. Last week, he's fucking crushing the ball. He had a bomb off Scherzer. Made Scherzer lose the game outright because of that. Paxton for 60. Paxton is looking unbelievable right now. Did not see this coming from this guy. I thought he would have been hurt by now. That Rizzo for Paxton trade, I don't know who wins that trade right now. I think both teams actually win that trade. But Gordo really, he gave up all his fucking pitching. All of it. Corbin, Paxton, Scherzer. If he just kept those guys, I really would like Gordo's team. I mean, I know he's got Kluber back, but Mashie needed to start and pitch real bad. Wound up giving up Rizzo. It was a buy low, sell high, but Paxton has been pitching unbelievably. He's sixth best pitcher right now, 27.5 points, 111 Ks already. That's really good. He's on pace for well over 200 Ks, well over 200 innings. If he could do it this year, it's going to be really surprising for him to do because, like I said, he's never gone over 150 innings in any of his stops in the majors or minors. And usually they don't really push guys, but you never know. They might say, listen, this guy's ready to go. The wheels are off. The training wheels are off. Ian Kinsler for 47. Man, she's trying to trade me Ian Kinsler for Edwin Diaz. Third best second baseman on my team. I don't want him. But he had a really good week, 47 points. He's heating up, but he's batting .220. So I guess so, Michael. Shin-Shu True never does it pretty. Always stats are always there. 34 points on the week. He's batting .270. 41 runs scored out of that leadoff spot. 12 home runs, 30 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, averaging 4.6 points. I'm telling you, he's going to be there every single week for you. He's going to be averaging 4.5 points, 5 points every single week. He's a really solid player. He doesn't do it pretty. His stats are always there, though. He's on base a lot. He walks a lot. He scores a lot of runs, has a lot of RBIs. He's going to be really good. He's basically like Adam Jones. I could call it like Adam Jones. 280 hitter, 25 home runs, 20 to 25 home runs, 80 runs scored, 80 RBIs. Adam Jones. Doesn't do it pretty. That gets the job done, though. And Shin-Shu is definitely one of those guys that gets the job done. JD Martinez for 29.9, fourth best outfielder right now, 5.8 averaging on the year. He missed some time, too, and he's fucking crushing on all cylinders. David Peralta for 29. He hasn't done that well yet this year. Nothing doing too hot. He's been a little bit on a tear of late. Looks like he's not playing against lefties. Yeah, he has poor splits against that kind of sucks if you can't start him every day. He's batting .275 though, 11 home runs. Really solid year so far. I did not know he was doing this good. Holy shit. 32 RBIs. He's averaging .2 less than Chu. He's playing really good, David Peralta. Eugenio Suarez, who fucking takes all my RBIs away from Joey Votto, because all Joey Votto does is get on base, and fucking Suarez drives him in all the fucking time. I'm so mad runs scored are only 1 point. I think they should be more. I have guys that get on base nonstop. They walk and they fucking score a run because Suarez is dropping bombs. I get 2 points out of the deal. This guy, Joey Votto's on base all the fucking time. He's got like a .450 on base percentage. But Suarez is fucking killing it, man. 300 average, 28 runs scored, 12 home runs, 49 RBIs. I don't even think he's played 49 games yet, which is fucking crazy. 5.7 points averaging on the year. Ninth best third baseman, and that's missing like a month of time from a fractured thumb. Never thought he would have power after that injury, but he still has it, so he's doing something right. Maybe the juice. Lester for 29. Miles Mikolas, who's got by far the worst mustache in the game, but he's pitching like a fucking stud right now, averaging 21 and a half on the year. 17th best pitcher. Wow, Miles Mikolas. Dylan Bundy, right back to form. He had like 3 or 4 horrible starts. One of them was against Kansas City, and he didn't even fucking make it an out in the first inning. But he's looking really good these last 4 or 5 starts. Mash, don't trade him. He's really good, Dylan Bundy. He's gonna be a top 15 pitcher. Mark my words. Marco Gonzalez. No, I don't want him. He's a has been. He's a never was. Yeah, done with that guy. Jaleel, my man Jaleel Matz. Eduardo Escobar. Is this the guy crushing? Yes, this is the guy crushing. Eduardo Escobar is on absolute fire. Every time I look at this guy, he's hitting home runs last week. He scored 58 points. Like it's nothing. He was, let's see, when did he get drafted? Didn't get drafted. Eduardo Escobar did not get drafted, and he's probably 6th best third baseman right now, averaging 5 points. He's fucking crushing right now. Probably the best hitter on the Twins at this point. Dropping bombs, 12 home runs, 39 RBIs, mixing a stolen base. Great hitter, man. Coming off last year, they had all those guys, the Twins from the second half on, with Buxton, with him, with Rosario, Jorge Polanco, the Juice Head. Their offense was actually pretty good towards the second half of last year, including Eduardo Escobar. He's picked it up. Averaging 5 points, that's big-time numbers right there. Trevor Bauer for 38. Wow, 12th best pitcher, Trevor Bauer. 23.9 average on the year. Nelson Cruz, 37 points. Second best DH right now. Marco Estrada, 29 points. Juan Soto, great pickup. I don't know if he's going to be playing every day now. Yeah, I mean, you have... Actually, no, he'll be playing every day. But might get dropped down in the order. He didn't play yesterday. Why? Because there was a lefty. Yeah, probably because there was a lefty. But he might get dropped down in the order with Murphy coming back. Either way, this kid is fucking good. I think he might be better than Acuna. I think we've seen more him than Acuna at this point. Is it safe to say? Or around the same? Probably around the same. Maybe when Acuna comes back, they'll have the same amount of time. Rendon for 28. He started off really, really slow. Starting to pick it up a little bit. I have him in one of my other leagues, fucking category league. I fucking hate owning him because I also own shitty Josh Donaldson, and I have to only start one third baseman, and thank God Josh Donaldson's dead because at least I could just start one of these guys. But Rendon is starting to pick it up. He was hurt. He had like a bruised toe or some bullshit. He went on the DL for that fucking bitch. Verlander for 27, second best pitcher, averaging 30 points a game. That's monster money, monster. 113 Ks for Verlander. If the Astros are cheating, I think they would have got caught by now. Maybe they just have a good pitching coach. I don't know, but they're doing something right over there with their pitching. Because Justin Verlander goes from, on the Tigers, he was just nothing. He was a waiver fucking trade in August last year, and he's been the best pitcher by far in all of Major League Baseball since that time. I don't know what the hell they're doing in Houston. Maybe it's the water. I know everything's bigger in Texas, but this guy Verlander is bigger than fucking life right now. He's pitching unbelievably better than his Cy Young days. What is his ERA at this point? 1.45 ERA. That is ridiculous in the American League. That's absurd. If he winds up with under 2 ERA, I don't think we'll ever see that again because that is just unbelievable. DJ LeMahieu for 25, averaging 5 on the year. I think he's been on the DL twice already this year, and I don't know if he's been on the DL more than once his entire career, which is crazy. Mike Leake, 21. Kevin Gausman for 20. I like Gausman, but I think he's more matchup based starts. You have to look at him like you don't start him against the Yankees, and did you? You do not start him against the Yankees because he got roped against the Yankees. Gave him 5 earned runs. J-Mark Candelario, I texted you. I said, hey, what do you think about, you want to make a move for J-Mark Candelario? No response. No response at all. Like the move. Love J-Mar, though, averaging 4.6 on the year. Tanaka-san, height, 18 points. He's on the DL, strained both of his hamstrings, tagging up on a fucking sack fly. Listen, National League, just get it together. Who fucking cares about your least athletic player hitting and fielding and hitting and running the bases? I don't want to see that. Just have a guy off the bench. Just have him hit. Let's go. Let's get it together. We're in the 21st century. I want to see fucking dingers. I don't want to see fucking small ball. I don't see that bunting bullshit. Bunting is like nonsense. Like all these sabermetricians say, bunting is the worst thing you could do. You're giving yourself up. It's the dumbest thing you could do. At least hit a ball hard somewhere and give yourself up. Be smart with it. But yeah, Tanaka Hurry, that fucking sucks. Nothing else really doing. So, really close division down there in the B division. I know it's lonely down there. Only have one. Actually, you don't even have one winning record. You have one 500 record, and everyone else is below 500. It's a shit show down there. Unfortunately, this matchup should have been the matchup of the week, but there was a matchup even closer than this. Talking about Lindor Truffles, Patio, who was the first one to leave the group chat. Not surprised. Pat is really hurt. He's mad. He's 5-5, and he's barely making the playoffs at this point. I think Patty has a decent shot to make the playoffs. The only thing is he just has to avoid playing the A division. If he plays the B division, he's good. If he goes above 500, I think he makes it. But it's going to be tough for him. He's got to stay above 500. But looking at this matchup, Patty wins by 4 points. Berrios, burying Jack, burying my mother's ass, big time, with 47 points. Complete game, 10 Ks, 47 points. Bingo. Kyle Seager for 36. He's been off to a very slow start. 226 average. 11th best third baseman, and that's not saying much considering he plays every single day. He's been really, really slow starting off. A lot of strikeouts. Home runs are there, RBIs are there, runs are there, but that's about it. I don't know if he's walking. I don't know what the hell is going on, but his stats are not saying much. Mike Moustakas for 30. He went on a tear at the beginning of the year. Cooled down a little bit, but evened out. Batting .263 now. 13 home runs, 42 RBIs, 33 runs scored. Averaging 4.8. Real solid numbers from a third baseman. Third best third baseman right now. Charlie Blackmon averaging 29 with 9 points. Averaging 5.2. Not doing what he was doing last year, which is very high average and a lot of runs scored, a lot of RBIs. Well, he still has the runs scored, but a lot of more RBIs he had last year at this point. His average is fucking like a 345, 350 clip, so he was averaging way more points. He's 11th best outfielder, though, after missing time, so got to be happy with that. Definitely I think he's going to finish inside the top 5 in outfielders. There's always going to be those weeks when you have a week long of Coors Field loveliness, I like to call it. You have 7 games in Coors Field, and your guys just go off. I'm telling you, it happens. Happened with Arenado already once this year. It's going to happen with him. Happened with Paul Goldschmidt. We see him go to Colorado, and he turns into a whole new player. He had 4 straight games of 2 or more extra base hits. I don't think that's ever been done in Arizona Diamondback history. Ian Desmond for 26. I hate this guy. I owned him in another league. I dropped his ass so quick. He's still batting under the Mendoza line, under 200. Has 11 home runs. Has 35 RBIs. Has 31 runs scored. But he's batting under 200. You can't be doing this, especially as an outfielder spot when guys are producing at way, way higher levels. Outfielder spot, catch a spot, I could see it happen. Not as an outfielder though. Denard Span for 26. Denard Span is drinking from the fountain of youth because this guy has fucking a gray beard, but he's fucking flying still. I don't understand. He's got 6 stolen bases still. 6 home runs for Denard Span. 31 RBIs, 33 runs scored. He's in a change of scenery in Seattle. He's having a good time out there. They're winning. Seattle is one of the most quiet teams in baseball. They're playing really, really well. They have the best closer in baseball. 25 saves. Edwin Diaz. Give me a call, anyone who ever needs him. J.A. Happ, 25 points. Happ has been pitching really well. 20.2 averaging on the year. 21st best pitcher. DeGrom for 25. He's going to be a Yankee soon, so you're probably going to want to trade him, Patty, to me. I'll take him any day of the week. Nah, you're never going to trade him. He's the man. Ninth best starting pitcher right now, 25.3 points, 106 Ks. Nice. CJ Cron, comeback. Is he the most improved player this year? I don't know. He's batting 253, though. 15 home runs, 36 RBIs, 37 runs scored. He's playing really well. Only averaging 4.1, though. Another guy. He's playing every single day. Your stats kind of get watered down when you play every single day. You're gonna have a lot more counting stats, but when you're not, your average is gonna be thrown off. But he's only averaging 4.1 with 15 home runs. Kind of fucking weird. Marlon Gonzalez, 22.7. Yeah, that's about it with that. And looking at my mother's ass, getting buried, losing first place. Sorry, Jack, but had to jump you. Chris Davis for 43.6 points, 17 home runs, big time long ball guy. Goes on a tear at any given moment. Only batting 234 though. High K guy. 30th best outfielder right now. That's solid. That's good. George Springer. He's crushing. 43 points. Averaging 5.4 in the year. 7th best outfielder. George Springer. He's climbing up the charts too. I think he might finish top 5 too. I think everyone's gonna finish top 5. Max Muncy was munching on everyone. Rookie of the Year candidate in the NL, maybe. 13 home runs. He leads the Dodgers in home runs, and I think he got called up like in mid-April. That's saying a lot about the Dodgers' putrid offense to start the year because they were horrible. He's a home run in 4 straight games. He's on fire. 30 RBIs as well. Playing really well, Muncy. Nick Markakis for 35.9. Averaging 5.7 still, Markakis. He's still up there. He's the 5th best outfielder. Average is dropping a little bit, but it looks like it's leveling off over here at like 320, 330. 8 home runs, 44 RBIs. He's in one of the best lineups in baseball. He's got a guy that's on base all the time in Freddie Freeman. He's got the 475 on base percentage, Freddie Freeman. And this guy, Markakis, is loving him on base because he's fucking driving him in left and right. Matt Kemp for 32.8. Matt Kemp, this is another guy. Most improved comeback player, whatever the fuck they have. He's a comeback player of the year nominee with batting .333 with 10 home runs and 41 RBIs, 30 runs scored. Matt Kemp hasn't batted .300 since 2012. That's 6 years ago. That is 6 years in between batting three. That's unbelievable. If this guy winds up batting over .300, shoo-in for comeback player. He's probably a shoo-in for the All-Star right now. He's crushing. Only averaging 4.4. Again, you play every day. This is what happens. You're going to see these numbers. All these averages are going to start dropping and dropping and dropping because everyone's playing every single day. You throw in a lot of negatives a couple days a week. Bam, -3. That really fucks up your numbers. But I'm telling you, 4.5 points, 5 points, that's going to be a great player. I need 5.5 to like 6.5. Those are your fucking studs. Those are your first round, second round picks. But Kemp has been playing really well. Tyler Skaggs for 31. He's been all right. Has some bad games mixed in with good games. Very hard to judge what he has. He looks like he's a strikeout inning guy. ERA's at a 3.8. Whips a 1.23. Walking guys a little bit too much. But he definitely has strikeout pitches left and right. I like Skaggs a lot. Garrett Cole for 30. He's not cooling off either. His ERA is 2.16. Another fucking Houston cheater. 31.8 points averaging on the year. Another high K guy. Gotta have a high K guys in this league. Clayton Richard. Jack, you fucking started him. Great start against Miami, man. I think he had a no-hitter in that game. And they wound up pulling him because he gave up a hit. Well, 2 hits. He pitched really well, though, against Miami. CC for 26. Jack, did he figure something out? I don't think so. Looks like CC is about a 5-inning pitcher at this point of his career. You really don't see him going deep into games anymore. You look at the game last night, only going 5 2/3. He doesn't have his strikeout pitches anymore. He's not going to be really valuable anymore, I don't think. He's only averaging 12 points in the year, and he's actually pitching really well. .27 ERA. The Ks are just, there's nothing there. 47 Ks is horrible. Garrett Cole has had that in 4 starts to start the year. So, I mean, yeah, he'll give you, sometimes he'll give you that quality start, but I don't see it this year with CC. Sean Newcomb, 24, averaging 19 on the year. Newcomb's the man. He's pitching really well. Love those Braves. And Yonder Alonso, list goes on. Tough, Jack, tough. I'm going to talk about the matchup of the week next. Buckets gets absolutely screwed, and the points just keep going up. First, Buckets won by 3, then he won by 1, then he lost by 2, now he lost by 4. I don't know where these numbers are coming from, but it just keeps going up. Paul Goldschmidt had one of the best fantasy weeks I think I've ever seen in my life. He went 16 for 25. He had 94 points, Pete. 94 points. That is absolutely unheard of for a hitter to do. He played in Colorado, so that helps. His numbers just went drastically up. He basically scored a third of his points this week. Seeing 23s, 25s, 15s, back-to-back games. He went on an absolute fucking tear in Colorado. He was happy to be playing in Colorado. Maybe that jumpstarts his season because he was looking horrible. He was looking terrible. But he's batting .258, 12 home runs, 31 RBIs, 45 runs scored. His numbers are way more respectable after that tear in Colorado last week. Andrew Heaney for 50, complete game, shutout, 11 Ks. 4 Ks, I'm sorry. I thought that said 11. It's a shot. You see those first 2 starts for Petey, 94 and 50, and you say, wow, this guy definitely won this week. Well, he didn't even reach 600, which is fucking crazy to think. Ross Stripling, 46.8 for the 2 starts. Matt Carpenter for 38. Cody Allen for 33. Mitch Haniger cooling down. He's not batting 300 anymore, Pete, to tell you that much. 15 home runs, though, 50 RBIs is a monster. He's in a great lineup in Seattle. They're winning ball games. They got their guys on base. D. Gordon, fucking Gene Segura, always on base. Haniger's is really, really good right now. Fucking had him last year. After last year, I was saying I'm never drafting Mitch Haniger again because he was the biggest headache in the world. But he stayed healthy this year and he's hitting really well. Definitely has a shot for 30, 35 home runs. But yeah, Pete, after that, everything falls off, man. Corey Dickerson for 21. Didi finally does something for 20. Nothing else really doing. Did you have big negatives? You didn't even have big negatives. Your pitchers just did dog shit. Keuchel and Gio Gonzalez, killers. Rhys Hawkins fractures his jaw. He's back already. I don't understand that. But Jay Jerkin niggas all day. Going for that 10-game win streak. It starts now. What is it, 3 in a row for him? Jay Jerkin. Where is he? 3 in a row for him. He's the hottest team in the league right now. Jay Jerkin. And he has the second most points again. So I'm a big fan of Jay. Huge fan of Jay right now. Definitely rooting for him. Just remember, Jay, I started that winning streak for you. So when you look back on the year, you could say, listen, the 10 games started with the best team in the league, playing against the best team in the league. And Jay, you lose Miguel Cabrera yesterday. Horrible injury. Looked really bad. He ruptured his bicep. Done for the year. Hope he's not out for his career. Really sucks for him. Really sucks for you. You lose a really good first baseman. His power wasn't there after the DL stint, though. Kind of had a feeling shit like this was going to happen with him, as it does with a lot of older players. They just get hurt, and they just can't get healthy anymore. It's really sad to see Miguel Cabrera go down like this. Really, really horrible injury. But Miguel Andujar should be batting third for the Yankees. He's batting .310, batting fucking 7th and 8th every single game, with 8 home runs, 28 RBIs, 30 runs scored. This guy got to get bumped up. Enough's enough. 55 points on the week. Carried your team. Reynaldo Lopez, you're welcome for 49. At least you got something out of the Votto deal. You know, he's still pitching really well, Lopez. Only the 45th best starting pitcher, but 15 points averaging on the year. That's solid, decent amount. Not a high K guy at all. I don't know what the hell. He started off the season striking out guys left and right, but he's just not striking out guys anymore. Severino for 47. averaging 27 on the year. Severino is turning into a super race. It's coming, guys. It really is. Justin Upton for 45. 255, 15 home runs, 40 RBIs. Nice lineup there in LA. Trevor Story for 40. Andrew McCutcheon for 35. This is the fucking guy, man. Not Eduardo Escobar. Eddie Rosario. I get confused with all these fucking Spanish players on Minnesota. Eddie fucking Rosario is crushing. Every time I look at the fucking Twins playing, he's fucking hitting home runs. Against me fucking 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, he was fucking crushing. 312 average, 14 home runs, 43 RBIs, 42 runs scored. Averaging 5.8 on the fucking year. Eddie Rosario, outfielder, 6th best right there. Wow, he's playing really well. He fucking crushed the ball. He has got a really, really sweet swing. Salvador Perez for 25. Good to see him back. Producing like a catcher produces. Averaging 4.3 or 4.2? 4.2. That's solid. That's what you want in the catcher. Any catcher averaging 4.2 is a catcher that can play for me. Brett Gardner for 24. He's heating up. He's averaging 4.6 on the year. After starting off horribly, 263 average, high on base guy, always on base, 41 runs, 21 RBIs, 5 home runs, 6 stolen bases. Lock him in for fucking 10 and 10 every single year. Maybe you got to chop for 15-15. That's really good. Not a lot of guys do that, believe it or not. How the fuck did you beat this kid? Like, I guess you just had so many guys just like throw up 25s and 30s and Pete just had guys just throw up 20s. But Doolittle for 23, Miguel Cabrera for 23, RIP. Done for the year, poor guy. David Robinson had 19 points. I don't know how the fuck these numbers don't add up, but guess what? They do. And Jay, you're the fucking winner. You're doing your thing. I like to see it. I like to see the swag. I like to see the confidence. The 10-game winning streak is in full effect. We're almost a third of the way there. We're a third of the way there. Let's call it a third of the way there. We're a third of the way there. I think you're down a little bit this week. It doesn't matter though. You're going 10 straight. And if I play you on that 10th game, you know I'm fucking blowing that game on purpose because you said it. That's why. Final game we have to talk about. Worst matchup of the week, of course. The two bottom teams in the B division face off against each other. The Chicago White Sox versus Hoyt Appointment, 499 to 549. Max and Tyler, I don't know what the hell is going on. I thought your team was this was the point of the year. Your team was just gonna climb up the standings, and it's not happening. I don't know what the hell's happening. Bumgarner with a bad start already this week. I think he's gonna get his shit together. I think Murphy is gonna start hitting because he's a hitter. That's what hitters do. First game back yesterday. Looking at Adams' team, Scherzer leading the way for 65 points. Number 1 best pitcher, 32 points averaging on the year. 2 ERA. So he's really, him and Nola are really, really close. But Scherzer got the Ks, 142 Ks. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Reminds me of numbers that Chris Sale had last year. 44 points for Profar. Chapman for 42. Brian Anderson for 41. Holy shit. Brian Anderson, damn. He crushed. Teoscar Hernandez. I like Teoscar. I think he's very fun guy to own. Just because his name is Teoscar. I never heard anyone named Teoscar in my life. He's averaging 4.8 a game though. 36th best outfielder. So I think we start 4 of them. So he slots in right as the 4th outfielder. Averaging 4.8, like I said. He's always batting high in that Blue Jay order too. Either 1, 2, 3, or 4. Definitely going to have opportunities to drive in runs. Or score runs, steal base. I think he steals bases too. Only 3 stolen bases on the year. Steals a little bit of bases. Eric Hosmer for 35. Patrick Corbin for 29. 110 strikeouts for Patrick Corbin. Holy shit, man. Walks have been up a little bit, but I think he's going to be fine. The K's up, so he's good. Matt Boyd for 23. Clay Buchholz for 22. Got absolutely hammered by Pittsburgh yesterday. Yolmer Sanchez for 21. Pujols for 18. Wilson Contreras for 18. Nothing doing here. Gleyber Torres only 16. Oh, man. Nothing really doing else. You look at Max and Tyler's team. and it's just not good. It's really not good right now. It's scaring me. I hate it. I don't like seeing it. This is one of my teams that I thought would be really, really good at this point of the year, and they score the least amount of points. Ryan Braun leads the way, which is really sad because Ryan Braun is a shell of himself at this point of his career with 42 points. He's the 50th best outfielder, only averaging 4.1 points. There's so many outfielders at first baseman in Milwaukee with Eric Thames coming back. I don't know where everyone's going to play. I know Yelich and I know Kane have to play every single day because they're the best two outfielders there. Now, whether it be Thames playing first, Thames playing the outfield, Braun playing first, Braun playing the outfield, Jesus Aguilar has got to be playing in that lineup. He's a great hitter. He's got to be playing in that lineup. But Abreu for 34, Carlos Santana for 32. He's been batting .219 on the year. Seventh best first baseman. First basemen have been horrible this year. I have no clue why. I've never seen anything like this. First basemen have always been the highest scorers in all leagues. Maybe everything's going to average out. I don't know. Lorenzo Cain, like I said, that man has to be starting every day. He's a great fielder, great hitter, does it all. Batting .283, 7 home runs, 12 stolen bases, 15th best outfielder at this point. Chris Sale for 30, 120 Ks from my main man, Chris Sale. 7th best starting pitcher at this point. I think he's way better than that. Matt Chapman for 29, only averaging 3.7. He's come back down to earth a little bit, striking out a ton. Yuli Gurriel for 28. This guy got no fucking pop, Yuli Gurriel. I don't understand. He hits the ball hard. He bats 300, but he has no fucking power at all. It's crazy. Only averaging 4.2 on the year. 21st best first baseman? How the fuck is that possible? I don't know. But he's the 21st best first baseman. David Price for 25. Xander for 24. The list goes on and on and on. You started Jalen Beeks. Good. He had minus 1.6 points. I'm glad you started him because I hate the Red Sox. He's averaging negative 1.6 points for his career at this point, Jalen Beeks. Why the hell is his name Jalen Beeks? I thought, the first time I saw this guy's name, Jalen, I was like, they have a black player? The Red Sox? Holy shit. A black pitcher? Forget it. Jalen Beeks, the whitest guy I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a whiter guy. I did not expect that to happen at all. Walker Buehler goes on the DL. Max, Tyler, just another guy to add to your injury list. It's been an incredible DL. You could field an all-star team with the talent that you had on your DL this year. Justin Turner did absolutely nothing again this week. I don't know what the hell's going on with him. Is his wrist healed? I hope so. But he only has 1 home run in his short time back. Not really playing that well at all. Adam Eaton finally comes back for you guys. Really hoping this guy fucking picks it up. He was on an absolute tear to begin the year and hurts his fucking ankle and goes out for a month. But I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be at the top of that lineup probably. Arenado, 14 points. He's having a real good year. Second best third baseman. Bumgarner got shelled against Miami. Horrible thing to see. He's gonna be fine though. Don't worry. You guys don't sweat it. You're in a bad division. You're 3 games behind. You got to remember that. You're 3 games behind. There's so much season left to make that time up. You guys have a shot. Everyone still has a shot at this point in the season. That's the best thing about fantasy baseball, where 10 weeks into the season and everyone still has a shot. You look at football, there's like 4 teams who have a shot at this point. But it's baseball. There's another 11 matchups to go. So there's a whole nother, we're like almost at the halfway point. So 11, 12, 13, 11, 12 matchups. I can't count. I'm shot. We have a lot of time left, guys. You go 9-3 the rest of the way, you're looking good. Put it that way. You go 8-4 the rest of the way, you're looking good. You got to go 3-4 games above 500 at this point of the year if you're at the bottom in order to finish at the top. And with that sage advice, I like to call that, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I'm going to go to bed. I haven't slept in about 30 hours. I am so shot. I can't believe I just did this. 45 minutes. Gordo, I hope you fucking watch this.